where the United States has launched another drone strike in Kabul earlier this evening. Quoting senior U.S. officials, reports suggest that the target of the strike was a suicide bomber in a vehicle who was aiming to attack the airport. This is the second carried out by the U.S. forces in Afghanistan since an ISIS-K suicide bomber struck the Kabul airport on Thursday. 13 U.S. troops and over 100 Afghan civilians were killed in the attack. Speaking to Reuters, one U.S. official said that the latest strike was carried out by an unmanned aircraft piloted from outside Afghanistan, and that secondary explosions following the strike showed the target had been carrying a substantial amount of explosive material. The video on your screens right now shows the vehicle targeted by the U.S. missile. Witness reports and videos emerging from the scene show smoke rising from near the north gate of the Kabul airport, and officials say that there have been no civilian casualties in the strikes. The strikes come as earlier on Saturday, U.S. President Joe Biden said that the situation in Kabul was extremely dangerous and that his military chief had warned Biden of a highly likely militant attack between Sunday and Monday. U.S. officials had said they were particularly concerned about the local affiliate of Islamic State attacking the airport as American troops depart, in particular the threat from rockets and vehicle-borne explosives. Now, for more on this story, our correspondent Anas Malik is joining us live from Kabul, from ground zero of the Afghan crisis. Good evening to you, Anas. Now, we know that the United States has launched another drone strike in Kabul earlier this evening. What is the latest that you have for us?
Absolutely, Alison. The city of Kabul was rocked with an explosion that took place around 5:30. It was a loud explosion which was heard miles apart from the explosion site. Initial reports suggested that it was a controlled explosion, but soon it emerged that a rocket had hit a house in Khawaja Bughra area, which is PD 11 and PD 15, Police District 11 and Police District 15, the northwest area of the Kabul airport. And as we were hearing these reports, we were gathering information, and a senior health ministry official had also confirmed the same. Reuters came out with the news story that, citing two U.S. military officials, that a drone strike, that the U.S. military had conducted an over-the-horizon drone strike at an ISK hideout at a vehicle that had a suicide bomber that was to target the Kabul airport's military side. This was corroborated in the footages that came in later as well. But what is interesting to note is the fact that this is the first ever U.S. military drone strike in the capital city of Kabul itself. In the 20 years of war on terror, never ever has any U.S. strike taken place in the capital city of Kabul itself. So it's a departure from the position that the US had been taking. We've seen airstrikes taking place as near as Wardak, that is southwest of Kabul, about 50 kilometers, roughly 25 miles. But a drone strike in the capital city of Kabul, that is a first, and that basically is an indication that the US had a solid intelligence, because we saw that soon after the US, the report by Reuters and Associated Press, the Taliban spokesperson Zabiullah Mujahid also confirmed the airstrike, saying that the vehicle that was targeted had a suicide bomber from the ISK. So both confirming both the US and the Taliban confirming the strike and singing to the same tunes as well. More or less the same statement that was issued. Additionally, if I talk to you through, we've seen just last night we saw a statement from US President Biden saying that his military commanders had warned that ISK was to strike in 24 to 36 hours. On Friday, we saw a Western intelligence agency warning journalists to stay away from the airport area, from the airport vicinity, saying that there are at least 7 suicide bombers, active suicide bombers, who had left a central mosque in Kabul. So in the midst of these stories or inputs that had been coming in, this drone strike looks like that for the time being a threat has been averted. Alison?
Anas, thank you very much for joining us with the latest on those details there.
WION, now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.